Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew and Price, and welcome to the Bartown Feed the Beast server. Yes, it is a brand new server with lots of new stuff and new excitement. We are now in Feed the Beast Ultimate Pack, and what is this? Oh, thank you, Mr. Pounce. Get does enchanting table setup. Always such an eloquent gentleman, what can I tell you? I'm actually kind of curious what's in this chest now. Oh, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciated. I have been kind of busy setting up the server and doing lots of other stuff, so I haven't had as much time on here to play as I would like. But what in the world is that doing there? Anyways, just random stuff popping up all over the place. It's really amazing just seeing how many people are doing things. But as you can see from the exterior, as a true mad scientist, I have elected to build inside of a volcano. Yes, very evil mad scientist stuff. I actually have the top blocked off because I was not wanting to deal with the lava anymore, as I was trying to clear out floors. Because what I'm eventually going to be doing with this, I've already burrowed all the way down underneath and have been mining, as you can see, is I want to put different levels and have like different levels set up for like farms and for animals and all sorts of fun stuff, and it's going to be really cool and all of that. But today we're not going to be focusing on that. We are going to be focusing on the server itself, because basically in our previous Feed the Beast server, we had we had Jake running it for us, who did was very helpful and was definitely trying to help us out, but eventually, basically, we were getting a lot of lag on the server, and there was really nothing he could do about it. Because he had set up for a particular plan, and, it costs a lot of money to upgrade, between plans and get more options installed and all that. And so, when we talked about getting a new server, me being the technical person that I am, I was like, I think we can do this a better way. And so what I started to do was to look let's see. That's Barty's response every time. He just is always amused. I've actually managed to avoid not dying on this server so far. I'm very proud of myself, and I'm probably just jinxed myself. We are always so happy to share in your misery. But yeah, I looked at a bunch of different ideas and plans for basically how to do this server the best way possible. And I came up with something that I didn't really see a lot of coverage for. And so I wanted to do a quick video about it. Let me just let him know. I will in a few minutes. Right now, I am recording. Of course, he says right now. Well, before I get yelled at some more, let me disconnect, and I will show you exactly what I am talking about. So, I will be with you in 1 second. So, basically, when you talk about hosting, a lot of people think of places like Redstone Host, or Redstone Host, or Servercraft. Here's another one, and they have a lot of different plans, but to be honest, and this is just my opinion, they're a bit of a ripoff. And this partially comes from the stance of someone. I actually worked for a game hosting company for a short while I was in college, helping to run their server, so I kind of know how they do things. And with a lot of the server hosting companies, what they'll do is they'll have like one server with X processor and X amount of RAM, X amount of hard drive space, etc. And basically they'll configure that server so that it runs like 1 to 2 high population servers, 3 to 5 medium population servers. I mean, obviously it depends on the game. I don't know the specifics of Minecraft. Minecraft wasn't out at that point. But this is generally how they want to do this. And the reason they do it is to maximize profit. Yes, with further emphasis there. And it makes sense. And for a lot of servers, it doesn't really matter. But for Minecraft, Minecraft is very bursty. Because, you know, when you're trying to load a lot of chunks or stuff like that, it does require a lot of CPU and usage, and it's a memory hog. It really is a memory hog, and it'll take pretty much as you can give it. So, when you're looking at like a lot of these servers, that's what they're doing. Like they'll say that you get 300 megabytes of memory. Well, they're giving you a portion of the total memory on the system. And they will say like, oh, it's running on a dual 8-core AMD Opteron 2.4 gigahertz, whatever. And it is, they're being truthful, but what they're not telling you is that you're sharing those cores with other people. You don't get that to yourself. That's why they also offer dedicated servers, because dedicated servers are basically you get the whole system to yourself, and as you can see, they're a great deal more expensive. And that's just the way the server industry has been for a long, long time. Now, there are some new options that are available that have come about in the recent, in maybe the last 5 years, I'd say, that a lot of people haven't embraced. And the company that we ended up using is by the name of OpLink. Now, a lot of you guys won't have heard of them, although they do say that they, you know, game server, Minecraft, for example. But this is not really what their core business is about. They're more business-oriented. And they, the server that we're using is a cloud virtual server. Now, you saw just now we had like 5 people on, 6 including me, and we're all in different parts of the world, and we're all doing our own thing. Well, we have this, which is a, it's pretty much, I won't get into the specifics of how cloud servers work, but essentially we have 4.8 gigahertz worth of processing power, 4 gigs of RAM, and then 8 IPs, and then 80 gigabytes of SSD storage. Now, to get this equivalent, and it's $32.48 a month, and bonus, they had a coupon code for the first 6 months, you get 50% off. So for this server, we are paying $16.25 a month, roughly. And to get the equivalent, even at its normal price, of like a 4 gigabytes of RAM for our server on Redstone host, you'd have to go up to, where is it? This is 3.6 gigabytes of dedicated RAM, 5 gigabytes of burst RAM. Now, they say that this is RAM disk powered, but see, they don't tell you if that comes out of your RAM. Because essentially, again, they're giving you a portion of the RAM on the system, and that 5 gigabytes of burst RAM is overhead. And basically, if 2 servers at the same time are trying to use that burst RAM, it's not going to be available. It's, you know, there's only so much resource available. RAM disks were very popular years ago. When I say years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago for Minecraft. But with the with SSDs becoming more prevalent in computers, they actually outperform RAM disks, partially because they don't take up system memory. And that's kind of one of those issues with these. Like with this type of thing, let's look at their normal servers. To get 4 gigabytes of memory, you've got to go up to $54.99 a month. $44.99 for 3,600 megabytes. And I mean, here's the thing: is these companies are making money off of the fact that you want instant Minecraft server setup in 15 minutes. And you can do Tekkit, Craft Bucket, Feed the Beast, whatever, and more. But like with our server, we can do whatever we want. It's as close to it's basically between one of these types of servers and a dedicated host. Because like OpLink offers dedicated servers as well, and obviously they're much more expensive. Although I will say they're not as expensive as like these other services, just because these guys are, in my opinion, basically making money off of the fact that they know they're dealing with a younger audience that isn't as technically proficient, simply because they're younger, they haven't been exposed to as much, and therefore they're kind of ripping you off, in my opinion. I mean, compared to what you get, because I mean, like if you look at this, for $59.95 a month for a dedicated server, I can get a dual Xeon at 2.5 gigahertz with 16 gigs of RAM. And then if to go for $59.95 to go like for the dedicated servers here, oh, I already had that page up. I can go back now. You know, I can get 1.8 gigahertz, a dual core, 4 gigs of RAM. You know, it's just not comparable. Now, again, you're paying for a convenience here. So I don't want to say they're completely ripping you off, because it's not really true. You're paying for something. You're paying for their expertise in setting it up. But I kind of want to fix that. I kind of want to level the playing field. So what I'm going to do in the next 2 or 3 days is I'm going to do a complete tutorial showing you how to set up a server, a Minecraft server on OpLink. Now you can use whatever servers you want. We're not particularly, tied to OpLink. We're not getting, basically this isn't an advertisement. We're not making money off of this or anything. I just couldn't, because I talked to Barty about it, and Barty had researched this type of stuff, and he had never considered this because he didn't know it existed. And it's really kind of ridiculous, because yes, it's much more user-friendly to use something like a Servercraft or a Red Host Net, but what you're paying is so excessive, because like for this price, so let's say this price, we get 1 to 80 players, 3.6 gigabytes, and you may be thinking $38.95. Well, the normal price on this is $32.48. That's not a huge difference. That's worth the convenience. But what you don't get is we're only using a portion for that Feed the Beast server, the one that you just saw that we're running with 5 people on it right now. We're using 3 CPUs, because we have 4 cores, and we're using 3 of them, and we're using only half of our processor, and we can actually scale this down. And we're also running a TeamSpeak server on it. So like if I type in top, which is the Linux command to pull up basically what the system usage is, you can see that we're using 54% of our CPUs, even at half, only offering because how you can allocate, and you'll see it jump up and jump down. But it's only 2.4 gigahertz, and we're using like 60% of it. Now we're using a lot of the memory because, as I said before, Minecraft is a memory hog. It just will take as much as you get, especially Feed the Beast. But it's really easy to set this up, and so you can also see our TeamSpeak server right there. And all this other stuff is background stuff. You don't have to worry about that. But if you guys can figure out how to do this, and again, I kind of want to take you through it step by step. I've already kind of started on this process, but I kind of wanted to do this video first just to kind of gauge the interest. I mean, you can get a good server that you have complete control over for so much less. Because the other thing is you can run more than one server. Because essentially you get multiple IPs, and you know how I said we're only using half of the CPU? Well, that means we can run one system at 2.4 gigahertz, and we can give it like 2 gigs of RAM, and then we can have another 2 systems, one for vanilla, one for Feed the Beast, and then we can also do an adventure map one, or we can do PvP or whatever else. Or we could do, like, if we were just wanted to do vanilla, we could do 4 vanilla servers, pretty much. That might be a bit excessive, but see, the thing is these resources are not shared. These are virtual machines. So these are each independent of one another. So, like I was saying about how the other companies will do it, where you'll do the, you know, like 1 to 2 high population servers and all that, that's not true here, because these are all virtual machines. They're not actually real hardware, and again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of how cloud systems work, but essentially these are not shared, as I motion towards the screen with great emphasis. And that, to me, it's such a much better value. Now, again, it does require you having some knowledge, and it does require you taking some time. It's not going to be 15 minutes. Even if you follow my video, it'll probably take you 30 minutes to an hour to get it set up. But in the end, it's your system, and you have complete control over it. And especially given the price, I mean, given the price, you can't go wrong, in my opinion, just comparing it to these other servers. They're just, it's not even comparable what you're getting, because for this price, for 1 server, I can get 4 servers or 3 servers, or however I want to split it, and we get 8 IPs. So we could even have 1 dedicated server for TeamSpeak. And again, that's kind of what I wanted to cover here, and that's what I wanted to do in that other video. And like I said, I'm going to be doing that soon. I will say, if you are really don't want to deal with Linux, you can use Windows. And you can just log in remotely and do everything with Windows. I personally am fine with the command line. To me, it's not that hard, because you have like this type of thing so that you can just drag and drop files if you want. And then you have this type of thing if you want to actually, you know, control things from the actual command line. So let me clear this out. You know, it's like I can, it's really easy. I know it probably seems, I'm trying to get the windows so that you can see what I'm doing. Let's drag you down. Oh, well, that works. So, like, if I want to just check what the what the server is currently doing, I can do this, for example. Okay, so it's currently running. Well, I knew that, but if I didn't, I could just do that. And if, as I said, I'm using like a user by the name of MC user for running it, you can just do that. And oh, I was messing with this yesterday. You will have to forgive me, my permissions are not properly set. So let's see, we go to dev, and see, this is what I'm talking about. It's like cannot open from your terminal, please check. And it's like, okay, dev pts/2. Alright, dev pts/2. Well, why can't I access it? Well, it's because the owner is root. Well, we don't want root owning this, because we need to have permission from the person that actually runs it to be able to access this. So let's change it to MC user. We will hit OK. Yeah, that we want that to be owner. Now it says the owner is MC user. And let's see if it lets us do it now. Amazing. There we go. And see, this is the actual server log. This is the actual server, and this is, if I wanted to, I could, you know, op someone, or I could kill someone or something from here. And that, as he asked me if I'm done, it gives you all the commands that you're used to. It just doesn't have quite the same pretty front end that some of those other services will offer you, but it gives you so much power. So anyways, I know I haven't done a Minecraft video in a while, so I kind of wanted to let you guys know what I was working on. I guess hopefully if you're interested, let me know, and I'll make sure to try to get it out a little bit sooner. But for right now, that's it. So this is Andrew and Price wishing you a good day and saying good night and good gaming. Bye.